Welcome to the Workamper Show, a podcast devoted to helping you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. I'm Steve Anderson, the president of Workamper News. Each one of our episodes will either introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to opportunities to work short-term jobs. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Thank you, Steve. Today we're going to talk about a big what if in work camping. What if you're injured, sick, need surgery, or require some other type of long-term care, but you don't have a sticks or bricks home to return to so you can recover? What are your options? Fortunately, there is one in the great state of Texas. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. With its Diamond and Platinum membership tools, Workamper News is much more than just a job listing website. When you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your work camping dreams into reality. The one-year memberships open the door to a one-stop shop for all things work camping. Being the original resource for work camping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with a community of work campers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable work camping lifestyle, then a Diamond or Platinum membership is for you. You can even get started with a free 30-day trial by visiting www.workamper.com/trial. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. Russ Johnson is the Executive Director of Escapees Care. CARE, which stands for Continuing Assistance for Retired Escapees. It's a program developed by the Escapees Club just for full-time RVers who have no place to go if they require significant medical care. It came about because one of the founders of Escapees, Kay Peterson, was a registered nurse, and she realized there was no place for full-time RVers to come off the road once they've sold their homes. Escapees Care is basically a campground located in Livingston, Texas, with a full-time nurse and other services to provide care to patients as they recover from an illness, accident, or surgery. The $1 Million Center also provides services like laundry, housekeeping, transportation to medical appointments, and even meals. It includes a respite center, so if an RVer has dementia, their spouse or partner can have a day off knowing that care will still be provided. The campground is located 80 miles from MD Anderson Hospital. It's a very large and well-respected hospital in Houston with a cancer center, and it also offers some services through the Veterans Administration. Escapees Care is operated primarily by volunteers, which helps keep costs very low. In fact, it costs just $1,100 per month for one person to stay at the campground and utilize all the services, including physical therapy equipment. For two people, the cost is $1,565. RVers do have to pay for their own electricity and propane, but one meal a day is available too. There's also a storage shed included at the site in case RVers need to move some things out of the way to accommodate a wheelchair. However, the payments are month to month, with each month paid in advance, but there are no entrance fees, application fees, or long-term commitments. It is set up to be an independent living situation in that people stay in their own RVs, but come into the center for services. There is some extra help offered, such as housekeeping. Pets under 50 pounds are easily accommodated at the center. To tell us more about this service, please welcome Russ Johnson, the Executive Director of Escapees Care, to the show. Thank you for joining me today, Russ. I really appreciate it. I've wanted to do this interview for a while, because the Escapees Care program is something that a lot of people don't really know exists. Wondered if you could tell us what it is.
Well, it's very interesting, and you're right. It's one of those it's not carefully kept secret, but it's just, it's hard to believe that we exist at all. It came about because of the founders of the Escapee RV Club. One of the co-founders was Kay Peterson, a registered nurse, and she had the concept that what happens to people who are out there full-timing on the road in their RVs, and they're stricken with a a need, a calamity, a broken bone, they need an operation, hip replacement, all matter of situations. One of the normal things that happens is one of the folks traveling might have eye problems or dizzy spells. So there's a need to get off the road, and if they've sold their house, what do? Well, that was her concept that she had, and the question was, as a registered nurse, she thought she developed a vision as to how to put something together. She was already well known for building campgrounds, so she and her partner Joe Peterson, they talked to a number of their different friends in the RV camping world, and they got donations, and they started putting together a concept here that essentially has a facility with a full-time nurse and a number of camping sites with full hookups. So a person could come in and dock here for a period of time, or if they were really ready to get off the road, we had one couple whose wife was blind, and he started having dizzy spells. And this was a logical place for him to come until he could get it figured out through medical appointments. And that was resolved, but he found that this was such a nice place, he decided to stay.
Really?
So it's a case, yes, indeed. And it's a case of where the services that we offer are a site with full hookups and laundry, housekeeping, transportation to medical appointments or other needs, and we also have meals available. So it's a good place to stop by when you have a need to recover and go on from there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't understand that there might come a time where they're out hiking in their RV and they wind up breaking a leg, and it's the person who typically drives the RV or something like that. And they might need a short-term place to go, and it'd be expensive to stay in a hotel for all those days. And then what do you do with your RV in the process?
That's it. We just talked to a person who was in California, and in their case, she needed a hip operation, so she had to pay for over 2 weeks in a hotel. She got an immediate operation, and then somehow she got taken care of. This is the place where we're 80 miles south of the country's best medical center, including MD Anderson and the largest VA hospital in the country. We've got Methodist hospitals and other hospitals, teaching hospitals, with specialists that can handle any and all in situations that may come up. And I'll give you another example. We had a fellow who needed a cochlear implant, and he was a full-time RVer. So he contacted us. We do everything by an application. He came in for the first month. He had pre-op and special testing. The second month, he had surgical implementation of the cochlear implant. And the third month, he got fine-tuning and checkout. And boom, he was on the road and happy as ever.
That's neat.
It's those. Yes. I mean, where else can you go? People have said, where is another place that you can find like this? And I have done a lot of research. There is no place I know of in the whole country, and maybe not in even the whole world, that has our kind of services for needs in place. We are located in Livingston, Texas, and we're adjacent to one of the escapee RV parks called Rainbow's End. We are 80 miles north of Houston, where the big medical center is, and conveniently near I-60, Future 69. So it's a great location in Texas. Some people say, well, Texas can get a little hot, but we just, have discovered the humidity that we have here may not be so bad because it keeps the wrinkles away. So, I mean, in yes, I know I'm pushing a point to sell,
Right.
sell it, but it's an amazing place. I'll give you one other example. Now, this is a bit of a stretch, but we actually made it happen. We had some volunteers, and we do keep costs low because we do need volunteers. And we exist because the escapee membership themselves, all the different members, have, you've often heard of pay it forward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the escapee membership is probably a great example of that. They donated money to create $1 million center and 60-site campground here. And it was all of their donations and volunteering that really created this facility. So that's a real accomplishment and a real testament to paying it forward. We use the slogan, give yourself the gift of care, because other escapee members, RVers, have paid for this facility to take care of you. The example I was going to give you about probably a bit of a stretch was one couple who had been volunteering here, left and were on their way back to their other appointments in California, and they were about 150 miles away from here. Someone ran them off the road into a hill, an embankment, and totaled their RV. They were taken to the hospital because of suspected injuries. The woman's clothes were cut off, and after taking a look by the doctors, there wasn't anything major. So they gave her 2 gowns to put over herself and a blanket and said, we're sorry we can't keep you here, but we called a taxi, and they ended up in a local hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you do in a case like that? Well, they called me the next day, and I'm the executive director here. I told them that I'll get a team of volunteers. You rent a truck. We'll be up there in the morning, and we will get everything that we can out of your impacted RV, which we did, and we brought them back. We have a cottage here, and one way you can really get an idea of what escapee care is all about is go on our website. It's one word, escapee care, ESCAPEES care.org. Go on our escapee care website, and you'll see some pictures of what we look like, and it'll also mention the cottage. It's a 2-bedroom cottage. We put them in the cottage, and we set them up as residents here because the other major function we have here is residency care for independent senior living here. So most of our people here are really have decided to retire here, but we still have more sites open for others. So they were registered as residents. They got better health-wise, and then they got their insurance papers together. They by that time, they got another RV, and within 6 months, they were up and on the road again. Now, that's what I call escapee care, roadside assistance to the max.
Absolutely. How many sites do you have there? How many people can you accommodate?
We have 60 sites, and 14 of them are sized large enough for the largest toy haulers on the market right now. Those large sites have 100-amp service because now they're coming out with 4 air conditioners and residential refrigerators. The other thing we have for all of the sites, by the end of this year, all of our sites will have generator backup. Many of our RVers were hit by the frigid weather this last early spring. And as you know, a lot of the lines went down or the service was cut off. our people never suffered a minute with that. Our generators kicked in right away in the facility and on the site. So what we do is we try to provide for all occasions, and we've had a very positive feedback from all of the people in terms of both our food quality and our services. So we have, out of the 60 sites, probably 57 residents full-time right now, but we still have other open sites.
Okay. How long do people typically stay there?
Well, some of the people, the folks that I mentioned early on, the person with the one resident who was blind, she had her service dog for a while before he passed. He's been here, and he and she have been here for over 12 years because they really enjoy the services they have here. Some people, as I mentioned before, just come in very quickly for 3 months. Some people come back again. I had one lady come in for a hip operation. She was here about 6 months. We transported her to all of her medical appointments, to the hospital, and then also to rehabs. That's all part of the service. There's no extra cost for these transportation or other items that are on our list. And after she got back on the road, she found that she, about a year later, decided, well, I need to rest up again. So she came back for another 3 months and then back on the road again. So we welcome people back and forth. And like I said, sometimes you just need a break if you've been traveling all around the country and you want to just settle down for a little bit and then get back on the road. We're like an oasis in the desert of all of this travel, I guess you might say.
How does it work for residents?
Well, it's the concept that Kay Peterson had was she had worked in nursing homes and assisted living, and in a lot of those cases, people, when they really wanted to start retiring, decided they pick a place, and they might have to put up their life savings to get into some of these places. And then if they didn't like the services, why, they had to, they might not get all of their money back. So her approach was, I want to set it up that they only have to pay 1 month in advance, no deposits, no long-term contracts. And if a person doesn't like the services that they get here, they leave at the end of the month. So that's the way we've operated ever since. I actually came here 10 years ago for volunteering for 1 month. And I got to know the folks here that were living here at the time, and we've had such wonderful people. We've had one of the fellows that was here was in Houston and Nassau when Houston had a problem up there in the moon landing, and also we had another colonel from the Air Force who was the chief operations officer for the Strategic Air Command. So we've had some wonderful, wonderful people here, and they kind of capture your heart. And so they asked me to stay on and help them, and it's hard to say no when you find a place with such love that abounds here. It just really captures your imagination, and we've done very well in the past 10 years.
So the kinds of services that you provide there, you have a medical staff, right? So you can provide some sort of assistance to people who might need that kind of care?
Right. We do. The concept is independent living. We have a full-time nurse. The nurse does not do any medical actual items, but what she is here for is to advise people on their situation and direct them to the right doctors. We also have respite care, which is her principal operation. We've had some people that come in with their spouse that may be going into either Alzheimer's or possibly Parkinson's, and So the caregiver needs time off for themselves. And so they leave their loved ones with our nurse in what's called respite care. And they stay here for the better part of a day. And then the caregiver can get out and get their own medical appointments or do shopping or sometimes just go golfing to get a break. I was a caregiver at one time for my son, and I know it's difficult. And you can't keep giving care unless you take care of yourself as well. So I fully realized what we need there. The nurse, though, since she's full-time for the respite care, is there also. And one of the things she did in one case was she spotted somebody with signs of a stroke, and she was able to advise that person to get to the doctor right away, and they may have even called the 911 on that.
Wow.
We're also prepared with ways that we can recommend, and we check on people who are here every day to make sure if they don't answer our calls, we go and check on them, and we're able to, between our medical nurses and our well-trained staff, to quickly follow up on everybody if they have any issues.
Okay. Now, what's the cost for this?
The cost for a single person, if they were to live here for a month, is $1,110. For two people, it's $1,565. It's very low compared to, if you were to compare that to other independent living or assisted living. We're probably one half of independent living in other areas, and also 1/3 to 1/4 for assisted living. It's really because we have volunteers helping us as part of our staff, and also because of our donations and fundraising. Every year we have a very large health fair. It's been one of the largest health fairs in Southeast Texas. We bring in all of the different health providers, and it's an opportunity. We also provide some low-cost testing for people. So that becomes part of our fundraising efforts. And then in the fall, we have an Oktoberfest. And the Oktoberfest was a celebration of the creation of the Rainbow's End Park here. And for that, we invite commercial people from the local areas in to talk about the different services they have, and provides a good time for everybody to get together and have a lot of fun. The other thing that we also do is we take people out for activities, probably anywhere from 3 to 4 times a month, and taking them in a bus to restaurants or movies. We've taken them over to other areas for theater. Now, we don't pay for the theater or what they eat at the restaurants, but we get them there for good times.
Mm-hmm. Now, did the fees you had mentioned before, does that include meals?
That includes all of our services, absolutely.
Okay, so the food cost and all of that is included in that?
Yes.
Okay, well, that sounds like a remarkable deal. Really, when you think about it, you're getting a full hookup site and food for that price, and medical care.
We do not. Yeah, they do have to pay their own electric and propane, because that is an individual item. Some people like it hot, as the expression goes. And so they have to pay that. But for example, we do take care of dumping their tanks. As we say, we've got some seniors here that it's a little more difficult to get down under, so to speak, and we take care of most of those problems. They also have the ability to build a ramp or stairs or a deck next to their outfit. For the larger sites that we have, some of our residents have elected to build covers because the sites are large enough to accommodate RV covers up there, and so they have built covers over their RVs up there, and they're looking for long-term stay with us because they pay for the covers individually. So we provide for that. We try to accommodate each person's individual needs as much as possible without being unfair to anyone.
Very good. You had mentioned single people, so you can come in there as a single and get help. That's got to be a real benefit for some of these RVers.
It really is, and and over the years, people have donated things to us, like medical equipment. So, for example, a single person could come in here, and if they're having difficulty walking, especially after an operation, we have walkers here. We have wheelchairs here. We have in our facility, we have roll-in showers. That can accommodate whatever their needs are, shower chairs. A person doesn't have to spend a fortune when they're already inconvenienced with some type of need that they have, whether it's physical or medical.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. If people have a pet, is that a problem?
We accommodate pets, smaller size. We don't have room for the large pets, and please, no horses. But even large dogs might be a little difficult because number one, you've got RVs and they're close together. But definitely anything under 50 pounds is totally acceptable.
That's great. The prices that you quoted before, does that include an entrance fee?
There is no entrance fee. It's you come in, you pay 1 month in advance, and that's all there is to it. We also have a waiting list for people who definitely want to be here. It's not necessary. For example, if somebody was all of a sudden needed an operation, they don't have to have already signed up on a waiting list. They can simply call us, and if we have an open site, they will be welcome as soon as they send in their application. This is not like a campground where you can just pull in and register for the night. This is an application that you send to us that essentially, for example, if you're going to stay here for a while, you have to have a doctor fill out a doctor's okay that says you can live independently. We do have to check that out because we are not assisted living. That's independent living. But for example, for somebody with an operation, in that case, the doctor would indicate the type of operation that you would be needing, and our nurse would look at it and make sure that it might not be something that would require extra hookups that maybe we don't have here. But that's the reason for an application here.
Okay. Even though it's not really assisted living, can somebody who has or is caring for someone with Alzheimer's take advantage of the services?
Right. That's because that is respite care. And so Alzheimer's is something that would come under the care of the respite care. So the caregiver would leave the loved one with us during the day, but at night they would come back and take them back to their RV. So assisted living would normally mean that they're able to stay overnight in a facility versus the RV. So that's the difference. We call this respite care. It's a daily type operation.
Okay. And there's no time limit for that. They can stay there as long as necessary?
As long as necessary, right. And they can check out whenever they feel they need to, too. So that they don't need to give us an advance warning or anything else. The other thing that we do to try and accommodate folks is even if you come here to retire, You're free to drive yourself. It's not like we require driving you. So there's no problem in you driving yourself. In fact, we're going to have an article about one of our slightly older residents. He's 98 right now, and he just stopped driving last year. So
Wow.
I did want to put up. I did want to try and put up a flag when he got in his car, but
That's funny.
But no, he was a very careful driver and a very capable individual. He originally was a farmer from Nebraska, so they build them strong in Nebraska, I guess. And, but this is the kind of place this is. We love each other, and it's a great deal of love and a lot of socialization. And the statistics show that if you were to go into assisted living or nursing home, you don't last very long in those places because there's a lack of movement and there's a lack of socialization. I'm sure many of the people who are listening to your podcast have probably went to visit somebody in some of those places, and you walk in and you see all these people sitting in wheelchairs next to a nurse's desk, and they look so lonely. We don't have that here. We get people moving. We keep reminding them, move it or lose it. And there's a great deal of socialization between all of the residents here. Of course, what have they got in common? They were all RVers at one point in time, and so they have a lot of travels to discuss, and we have card games, and we have 4 TVs around. We have a fitness center. We have, here's one thing, and this just shows you the love that goes on here. We get a lot of donated items, like you heard me mention about the medical equipment that was donated. We get other donations, people who come by and maybe they have too much weight in their RV and they need to downsize a bit. And we used to have a very troublesome 3-day sale of a lot of donated items, and it was very cumbersome to do that. So a number of the residents here got together and they said, if you get us a shed, we will sell those donated items over a period of time, and therefore there doesn't need to be this tremendous manpower increase to do it all in 2 or 3 days. So they did that. They started that about 6 years ago, and they now have close to 3 sheds because I'm waiting for them any day to be registered on the stock exchange. They have made a real business out of this. And again, it comes back to help the facility overall, because the donated items we sell, they come right back to help fund the overall operation. And these people are all doing it as volunteers, and we have volunteers from the local Rainbow's End campground that are also helping out in addition to our residents. It is a real love fest in terms of, and they enjoy it. They enjoy the interaction with people in the community. It is just love personified.
That's neat. And can people leave the Escapees Care compound to go traveling for a while?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked that, because we have people that, they still want to see their kids. Sometimes they want to go on cruises. And I'll give you another example. We have 2 buses and a fleet of 4 cars, and that's what our volunteers do, using these different vehicles to take people everywhere. One time, about a dozen of the residents and local folks in the local campground all wanted to go on a cruise together, so we packed them in the bus, took them down to the cruise line in Galveston, dropped them off. They went on the cruise. And when they came back, we picked them up and brought them back up. On the other hand, if they just want to leave their travel rig here, whether it's a motorhome or a fifth wheel or whatever, if they can leave it right on their site, and then they can just drive and visit their loved ones, or they can take their travel rig and go off for something like Escapade. We just came back from Escapee's annual outing, which is called the Escapade up in Wyoming, and one of our 80-year-old residents decided to take her fifth wheel and drive it up to Wyoming and attend the Escapade. So I met her up there, and we had great conversations about and it's a case of where they can keep their site here, the site that they have, and they only have to pay $500 because it reserves their site and their hookups and everything else. Or they can just, decide, well, if the site's not there when I get back, I'll choose another site. And so then they don't have to pay anything, but they're free to come and go as they wish.
That's excellent. Is there a waiting? You said that there's a waiting list for people to get in there.
Well, we have open sites right now, but we do have a waiting list because people, they are really looking forward to coming here, and so they want to get their application on file and make sure that if something happens to them, they can come in on a moment's notice. And so they're on the waiting list, but it's not because we don't have open sites.
Okay.
So it is just to assure that when they decide, they can drive right in, and we'll put them on a site.
Oh, that's a good idea. So if somebody knows that they're going to need like a knee replacement or a hip replacement, they can schedule that at the medical center there in Houston and come to and kind of work with that medical center and Escapees Care to make sure that they would have aftercare treatment available or service available.
Right.
Okay. Very good.
In other words, once they, get things identified roughly with their health provider, they can contact us right away, make sure that we have a site for them. We'll hold that site, and then they can finish up their applications and considerations with their health providers. And so they can just pull in a day or two before they're ready, and we'll drive them right down to their appointments. And so they'll know that everything is, absolutely in concrete before they even get here.
That's excellent. Where can people get more information about these services, Russ?
Well, of course, one of the best ways they can do right now is go on our website, which is escapeescare.org. And they'll have pictures of what the place looks like, including the cottage. The other thing, as an example, they can also, fly in. This is another benefit that we offer these folks. If they want to just check us out and see, what we look like and see what the sites look like, they can fly into the local airport, which is Bush Airport. We'll go down, pick them up at the airport, bring them up here. They can stay in our cottage overnight, and then we'll take them back to the airport to fly back out. This is also a case of, and I was talking to the people at Escapade, and I told them about how we took care of the one couple whose RV was, impounded. Now that was about 150 miles away. If it happened to somebody in Florida or some other farther away, if they could get on an airplane and fly in, or let's say they had a cancer situation where they just were identified with the cancer and they wanted a second opinion at MD Anderson in Houston, and they could call us and fly in, and that would be 936-327-4256. You can fly in. We'll pick you up at the airport. We'll put you up in one of our cottages overnight, and we'll get you down to MD Anderson for a second opinion, or we'll get you into the cottage as a resident if your RV was immobilized and you had no other place to live. You could come over here and live until you got your RV back in shape again to get back on the road. So we are here as a resource for all kinds of situations that are problematic when you're a full-time RVer.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Russ. I really appreciate the time. This is very valuable information, kinds of things that you want to stick back in the back of your mind and not forget about it, because you never know when you might need it.
That's it. That's what we say. Come to care. Give yourself the gift of care. You never know when you need it.
I have wanted to interview Russ Johnson, the Executive Director of Escapees Care, for a while, and I'm glad we finally had the opportunity to connect. I visited the facility in Livingston, Texas many years ago when I was a journalist reporting on the RV industry. It truly is a remarkable setup. I'd say it's one of the best kept secrets in the RV community. It's not secret in that nobody talks about it, it's just that many people don't know the service is available. Simply tucking this knowledge into the back of your mind can give you tremendous peace of mind in case you ever need that kind of care. It is not assisted living, but rather independent living. People still live in their RVs overnight and use their own bathrooms, but they can enjoy some services they aren't likely to get at other campgrounds, such as a meal, housekeeping, and laundry help, as well as transportation to and from medical appointments. Respite care service is provided at a rate of $40 per day, which provides help for patients who really can't care for themselves. It's designed to give a spouse or caretaker time off from providing around-the-clock care. There's a wealth of information about Escapees Care available on its website at www.escapeescare.org. To take advantage of the care program, people would have to become members of the Escapees Club, and that costs $49.95 per year. More information on membership is available at www.escapees.com. Today's episode is sponsored by The Dreamer's Journey. It's an online course and community produced by Workamper News. Life is way too short to keep your dreams on hold, so don't be held back by fear, because you were designed for more. Get started in the RV lifestyle the right way with this comprehensive guide. For just $29.95 for 90 days of access, Dreamers have unlimited viewing of 50-plus videos to learn things like what type of RV to buy, goal setting, how to budget for the adventure, developing a positive mindset, setting up a domicile, and operating a small business on the road, plus everything about work camping and how to find the right job for you. Each video is 30 to 90 minutes long to give you in-depth coverage on each topic. There's no wrong time to get started, so for more information, visit www.rvdreamersjourney.com. That's all I have for today's show. Next time, I'll be talking to a couple of RVers who've been full-timing for 15 months about their experiences and the types of jobs they've worked. I'll have the interview on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thanks for listening.